All right, joining me now, Senator Markwayne Mullin from Oklahoma, member of the Senate Armed Services Committee. Senator Mullin, thanks for coming back on.
Absolutely, Larry.
Look, my big beef is I see the Bidens on the defensive. I don't see them defending America. I don't see the Iranians and their terrorist proxies worried about what we, the United States, might do. It sounds like we in the State Department and the Bidens and the White House are more worried about Iran's going to do. Instead of being on the offense or on the defense, instead of them worrying about what we might do to them, we're more worried about how to defend what they might do to us. I just find this all completely back-assward.
Well, Larry, you're seeing it absolutely right. We are not living with an administration that believes peace through strength. We have an administration that believes in peace through diplomacy, and that doesn't work in this case. This region only respects strength. That's it. If they smell weakness, they will come after it. I believe that Iran is actually cowardly, that if you push on them, they will back off. You saw President Trump push on them, and they immediately backed off. But when you saw the Biden administration come in, release the sanctions, renegotiate with the Iranian nuclear deal, what you saw was the world sponsors of terrorists, with Iran backing Hamas and Hezbollah. You saw them become bold again. And that's exactly what you're seeing. No one can deny that Hezbollah is funded 100% by Iran. That isn't even debatable. The State Department even say the same thing. Hamas is funded by somewhere between 75 funded by Iran. Once again, not even debatable. We know that that is factual. And so there's no way that Iran isn't behind this, and they're testing America's resolve, saying, are we going to stand with our allies or are we going to waver? And right now, the administration, Larry, is wavering.
Well, you know, John Kirby said today that he said we're putting new sanctions on. I don't know what he's talking about. So we put new sanctions on. I have no idea. I don't get that. So
well, those sanctions have been ran by us. Well, we don't know what that is.
Right. I mean, exactly. So I have a thought, Senator. You're on the Armed Services Committee. How about the United States right now, the next 24 to 48 hours, stop Iran ships from, like, let's say, oil tankers with a cargo going to China, okay? Or a cargo going to any other place. Let us finally enforce the sanctions. Let us use the tool of interdiction, which is part of the sanctions. And, you know, you may not always agree with it, but Mitch McConnell wrote a tough op-ed about this in the Wall Street Journal a couple weeks ago. He laid out, you know, boom, 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 boom. Interdiction, sanctions, stop the ships. Then they won't have any new foreign exchange, right? Or any energy reserves. So why don't we do that? There would be something. That would be a shot across Iran's bow.
We could do that immediately with our carrier groups in place right now. We could shut that down completely without any problem if they chose to do it. The problem is Congress doesn't make that call. The commander-in-chief makes that call. And unfortunately, that's Biden that's sitting there. If they wanted to simply reinstate the sanctions that Trump put in place, they could do that with an executive order, because they reversed it with an executive order, and that could go into effect immediately. That would affect somewhere between, we're looking at it, we think it's somewhere between $900 million and $101.2 billion a week in funding. You don't think that would put pressure on them? Absolutely it would.
Would send a terrific message, and it would show some strength for a change instead of all this hand-wringing and defensiveness. It's almost like they think they're victims over there. I want the terrorists to be worried about our escalation. About our escalation. That's what I want. Anyway, Senator Markwayne Mullin, thank you, sir.